What's up, guys? It's your girl Ken, H-Town Ken, back at it again with another video. Today I have a very special guest. He is a friend of mine. He has just purchased a home. He is a father-to-be, and we're excited to hear about his journey and what he thinks about real estate, the apocalypse, and whatever else type of questions that I seem to come up with. Kahdeem Cohens.
Hi, everybody. Kahdeem here. Glad to be on Miss Kennedy's show.
Yes. I feel like this is kind of like Klub KK. We have, if you guys can't see, we have some, that was the back of it. We have, where's my camera? We have, this is whiskey.
Salty caramel whiskey.
Salty caramel whiskey.
She told me via text that it's like Klub KK, but she wanted to call it Klub KK.
Klub KK, if you will. You see, I'm just brilliant because you know what the name of my YouTube show is? Kennedy's Corner.
Kennedy.
Kennedy's Corner.
Okay.
But corner with a K. H-Town. Anyway. And then we have this wine. It is Ménage à Trois, Midnight. You know, I'm learning French, so.
I'm learning French. And this is the wine she decides to pick.
Listen.
I feel like that's very telling.
You know, you're here judging me.
I feel like it's on brand.
On my own stage.
It's on brand.
And then we have this. What we're going to do here right now is a pickleback. And I just.
Light on the pickle juice on mine, please. That's a little too much for me.
All right. Okay. This guy.
That's perfect.
Listen. A pickleback is something that I have just discovered.
Oh.
I was at a bar, and let me complain about this bar. Playtown Bar, Uptown Dallas.
Playtown
How
or
dare
Playhouse?
No, it's Playground. Playground, Uptown Dallas. How dare you? They charged me. They charged me. Look at the menu. You know what I did today? I spent like 30 minutes Googling Playtown Dallas or Playhouse or Playground, Uptown Dallas, and I searched it on the Google.
On the Google, you sound like someone's.
No,
the Google.
Listen,
the Google.
I searched it on Google, and whatever it was recommended by Yelp and Google and the Better Business Bureau and Lifetime or Life. Midnight Life
magazine or whatever.
Yeah, whatever in Dallas, nightlife in Dallas, all of that. I posted on every single one of them. I was the first review on most of them. It's me.
Is it new?
No, it's not new, but they only had and I'm not the only one that they've done this to. They upcharged me $2 per shot. I bought 6. They upcharged me $2 per shot.
Sounds like someone had a good night.
And then they like to no, it wasn't.
6 shots.
It wasn't me. I was just buying rounds.
Oh, okay.
We had 2 rounds. It was me, Neek, Bree, and Nay. Nay didn't really like the pickleback, but they had a pickleback juice. This is why this is relevant. They had a pickleback type specialty drink, and online it costs $5.49. When you get there, it costs $6.49. Okay, no big deal. Okay, maybe the the thing online is outdated, right? They charged. I still have the receipt. I couldn't believe it. They charged. The bartender rung me up, and I don't really like this guy. If I can get his name, Playground, Uptown Dallas. Whatever bartender, he's there all the time.
Catch that. Playground, Dallas, Uptown.
Yes, it's 2024. Whoever is working there, he's a man. He has a short haircut. He wears this shirt. He wears his hat backwards every time. He wears his head backwards, and then he's just very nonchalant. He just sits there, squawking it up with the cook or whatever, and then he did my tab out, and then he charged me the extra $2, and I tried to confront him about it, and he said, "Oh, that's the policy. We just changed it." I was there a week prior. How did you change it in a week?
The policy is the upcharge now?
The policy.
What policy is that?
He must have thought I was stupid. So No, I let them have it. I spent 30 minutes. I even signed up for some sites just so
Dedication.
I
You're not gonna
could
hear me.
yes, just so I could write a review. Because I really don't like bad customer service. Like that gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
Like stuff like
It's a
that.
pet peeve.
Right. And then what else?
Because nobody asked you to work here.
Nobody asked you to work
I'm just here
here.
to have a good time.
Like, why? And then the bots on the press 1 for this.
Uh-huh.
I'm a machine. I can understand complete I don't give a damn what you understand.
What?
You're a robot. Representative. No, you're a robot. I'm not talking to you. You're not sentient. You don't understand what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And God help us when we get to that part. But
good old AI ML.
yeah, but we'll get to that as I do these questions. But first and foremost, let's have a toast to you. Thank you for being my first guest.
We're switching cups because you have more pickle.
Okay, all right. Okay, this guy. So we're going to do, the camera sees it over here. You see it over here. The pickleback. So what we're going to do is we are going to have the whiskey first, and then we're going to have the pickle shot after.
Do you swallow the whiskey into all the pickle juice?
You can, whatever peels your banana.
What did you do at the bar?
I had the shot first and then the pickle juice.
Why did you swallow the shot before you did? I'm just asking.
Listen.
Some people might want to mix it.
Listen, here's to you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Clink, clink.
Nope.
Beautiful.
No.
My shot was bigger than yours.
No, it was. The problem isn't the liquor, the problem is the pickle bacon.
Okay, all right.
I'm also not a big fan of pickles, but to each their own, I guess.
Where did you leave your purse? Did you leave it outside or did you have it with you?
I snuck it in the back.
Okay. Let me know if you want to stop to refresh your lipstick, but anyway.
I got my chapstick on deck, no worries.
All right, this
Always
guy.
ready.
Okay, let's get into it. So, Kahdeem Cohen.
Oh, God.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's a beautiful day. It's not as cold as it was 2 days ago.
Yes. Oh, my God. Can you believe it?
It's supposed to be 80 degrees again tomorrow. Though, so.
You see, this is why people are getting sick.
I avoided it. Did you get sick?
No, thank God. I took ever since, and there's this virus that's going around. It's
which one?
Believe me, it's the upper respiratory thing, thing, RSV, I think it's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's this virus that is upper respiratory, and you get a lot of mucus stuck in your chest, and then you're coughing all the time. And it takes a long time to shake. Like, I had mine for maybe 6 weeks.
Oh, you told me about this. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then I shook it at one point, and then I got sick all over again after my birthday. Yeah.
Outside.
My birthday's January 16th. Capricorn season. Thank you.
Shout out to the Scorpios.
Okay, this guy.
About 8 months.
All right.
Don't get enough of it.
Okay. All right. Listen. So, RSV or RS whatever. So, yeah, that's going around. And, like, a lot of people at the office have got it where I work. And so, shout out to Crowdfunding Lawyers. They are the sponsor of this video. Go there for all of your securities needs. You know, we do real estate transactional work. We do securities work. Don't get in trouble with the SEC. So, be sure to dot your T's and cross your I's and get yourself a good lawyer because, you know, the online forms don't necessarily cover everything. But
dot your T's and cross your I's.
You see what I mean? If I had a lawyer here, he would have corrected me. That's why you need crowdfunding lawyers.
Accountability is everything.
Yes. But back to RSV. Yeah, a lot of people, have you experienced or have you known anybody that has gotten it? No. Mark my words, it's COVID 2.0.
Oh, yeah, I do. I know somebody.
Who? Anyway.
Valid answer.
But yeah, it's like, yeah. So hopefully the cold spell has gone away and we can finally.
We had a good week of fantastic weather.
Yeah.
And then this happened. I mean, it's March now. I feel like we're kind of done with it. By April, at least we'll be done with it. Might have another cold spell again. I wouldn't be surprised if we dip back into the 50s for like a weekend. Unfortunately.
Yeah, there's always a cold snap until we get to hell.
You know better than I do, Miss HTX.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I only got 3 years in the game.
All right. We'll get into that, actually. So, which brings me to my first question. Ooh. So, you're from Connecticut?
Yeah, I was raised there since I was 8.
Okay, so you're not born and raised?
No.
Where are you born?
Born in Greensboro, North Carolina. Don't remember any of it. I was too young to remember. I think we moved before I was either 1 or 2. My parents were both in the Navy, though. So
okay. So you're a military kid.
A little military kid. So, like, my sister was born in California. I have a twin brother. So, me and my twin brother were born in North Carolina. And then we moved.
That shocked me when I first found out
that you were a twin. Oh, yeah. Well, I told you a long time ago. This wasn't the first time you remember this or know this. I told you before that.
You told me before, but it blew my mind.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
He's a twin, everybody.
Kahdeem and Khalil. Good
Crazy.
people. Getting married in September.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. We
Best
love
man,
black love.
Of course.
Is she white?
She's black.
Okay. Black love.
That's hilarious. Black love. HBCU love. Love it for them.
Word.
But yeah, North Carolina, lived in New York at one point, lived in Illinois at one point, North Chicago. And then they both retired and they went back to Connecticut because they're both from Connecticut.
Interesting.
So shout out to New Haven.
Shout out to New Haven. So what was it like growing up for you in New Haven, Connecticut as a black man? Boy.
Connecticut's definitely a lot wider than most states. New Haven in and of itself isn't necessarily like a super white city in Connecticut. Now, New Haven, I mean, it's funny though because Yale is also smack center of downtown New Haven. Mm-hmm. So, and obviously Yale being an Ivy, predominantly white. But it definitely puts an interesting, I'll say, dynamic between like the city and like this prestigious Ivy League school. Mm-hmm. And I say that, but I also went to an Ivy League school, so like I'm not talking shit about Yale or anything, but I'm kind of talking shit about the city of New Haven to a degree, but not really. So growing up there was cool because for the most part for me, I was surrounded by black people like the entire time. Up until I went to high school, and that's because I went to a private high school.
How did y'all get up there?
So when I first got to Connecticut in 3rd grade.
No, like the black people.
Oh, how do we get up there? I don't know. Probably, the Great Migration. People from the South coming up. Like my grandparents live in Connecticut. They're both from South Carolina. So I think it just folks.
What year were they born?
Ooh, Granny was born it's 2024 now. I think Granny's like 80, 82. So that means she was born in the 40s. Yeah, like 40, 42. Anywhere between 40 and 44. So they're both like around that age group. So born in the 40s, and they've been in Connecticut, I think most of their lives too. Like my grandma aunt owned her house for 40 plus years. So yeah, so I guess that's how black people got up there. But I mean, Connecticut in and of itself is super white. You got like cities like New Haven, Hartford, and Waterbury, and Bridgeport that are like, in my head, are predominantly. I wouldn't even say Hartford is predominantly. I would at least say Waterbury, New Haven, and Bridgeport are probably predominantly black and brown folk. But yeah, I was surrounded by black and brown folks all the way up until I really went to high school. What is so funny? What is so funny? Me saying brown?
No, I can't believe it.
That what? I was surrounded by black people?
Like black people. Listen.
Everybody says, oh my God, black people don't exist in Connecticut.
Y'all don't belong up there. Listen.
Okay, so where's the line?
Go back.
Will we stop in D.C.?
Or New York. New York I'd give.
New York is literally right next door.
I know, but it's right. This isn't this isn't right.
Are black people supposed to be in Boston?
No.
Or Massachusetts either?
No.
Vermont, New Hampshire?
None of the if the state can fit on this piece of paper, you shouldn't be there.
She's only saying that because she's from Texas, and you can probably fit, 50 Connecticut's in Texas.
Yes.
You can get to Connecticut in like max, and it's probably reaching 3 hours. It's probably like 2.
From start to finish?
Yeah, it's probably like 3 hours. It's not a big state at all. Yeah, 3 hours in Texas, getting literally from Dallas to Houston. if you're lucky.
If you're
3.5
lucky.
or 4, maybe even 5.
Word. But
Anyway,
go ahead.
enough
I'm
dissing
sorry.
on my state. It was cool. I enjoyed it. Middle school was dope. So I got there in 3rd grade. I went to public school for 3rd and 4th grade. Then this new Catholic parochial school opened up, and like my teacher said, "Oh, you should go try this school out." I said, "Oh, sure." Got in. The school was predominantly for like inner city youth, which is terminology for black kids in New Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Black and Hispanic kids in New Haven. So like the entire school when we opened up in 2005 was just a bunch of black kids from New Haven. Obviously a Catholic-based parochial, so like had religion class and all those kinds of things. Outside of that, it was regular school. Did that from 5th grade to 8th grade. We relocated from Hamden, which is the town next to New Haven, to New Haven at one point, and we went to this part of the city called The Hill, which was predominantly like Hispanic. And after that, I applied to What Is So Funny? What is so funny? What are you laughing about? I want to laugh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. Maybe it's the shot.
Yeah,
Pickle juice, everybody. Pickleback.
She is
yourself.
notoriously giggly when she gets drunk. And also a lightweight, if I had to say it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Go
Gecko
ahead.
Monster.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, went to high school, predominantly white, went to this private school. You want to laugh again? It looks like it. It sounded like it. Went to this private school in New Haven, Hopkins School, predominantly white. I think there were literally like 5 black people in my grade.
Like the whole grade?
Yeah. It's like, the school is only, it's like maybe 600 or 700
Oh, okay.
students.
Okay, yeah, because private school. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but there were only like maybe 5 or 6 black kids in my year.
Crazy.
And across the entire school, like 9 through 12, it's probably less than 20, 25 for sure.
You know what? I kind of relate to that because I went to a school in freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
Kerr High School. Shout out to Kerr and A-Leaf. It was a predominantly Asian school. It was like it was like kind of like a charter school, but it was geared towards getting you prepared for college. So it was set up like a college. It had the classrooms were, set up, with just different tables around. You could go and come and go when you wanted to, turning your assignments and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you get your work done, that's pretty much,
what it is.
yeah. So, yeah, shout out to them. But
it was an interesting transition. Cause it was kind of the same, but not nearly the same. It was like, we had like free periods and like you can go off campus if you had a car and all this other stuff. And I was like, I didn't have a car. I took the city bus while all these other kids were driving like Benz trucks on campus. It was literally like a mini college. Like it was a college campus. And I was like, this is different from like what I ever envisioned like me being in high school. Like our public high school, like it was a big high school, but it was a building. It wasn't like a campus that had 10 buildings on it. So I think it was a good experience in terms of like college, preparatory, school perspective in terms of getting me ready for that, like academically and socially, I guess. Because, I then went on to Princeton, which I guess my high school was like a microcosm of what I was going to experience there from a diversity demographic perspective. So
I didn't know you went to Princeton.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Cool spot.
This guy.
I say that humbly. I don't really tell people that.
Really? Yeah, because we honey,
Oh, you get, so the thing is like,
he's a twin, he went to Princeton. What else don't I know about you?
I think I don't
your
tell
real name
people that.
Kahdeem?
It is Kahdeem.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't know that though, because everyone in the group says Deem.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
There's too many D's.
Nah, Deem is perfectly fine. Everybody has to know my government.
All right.
But yeah, I don't tell people that because then you get like the reaction like, oh my God, I'm like, it's just, shout out to Princeton, like it's cool. Like, I got my degree from there.
Shout out to Princeton.
Really, I'll say this. I think like college application wise, like I wouldn't even say that Princeton was like on like my radar in terms of schools I wanted to go to because private Ivy League school wasn't really some aspiration of mine. I like applied through this program called QuestBridge, which essentially like allows you to match with certain colleges, and if you match with them, then like you get like a 4-year full ride. And we grew up with 6 kids, and like we all were going to be in college at the same time. Like there was no way, we were ever going to be able to afford going to college all at the same time. So it was going to be tuition and like scholarships, or it's going to be loans.
Right.
So this program came up. I applied through it, and like a bunch of the Ivy League schools were on it as early action schools as opposed to early decision schools. And I had commitment. I didn't want to commit to a school that early, so I didn't do early decision. I did early action, which is like you get in early, but like you're not contractually or legally obligated to go. It's just like, oh, you got in early, cool. And Princeton was on that list, and then I got matched with them after the fact, and I was like, oh, cool. I never even went and visited before I went. I wanted to, but some stuff came up, so I couldn't go. And then at the end of the day, it was like, oh, well, even if I don't like it, like I'm gonna ride this one out because one, I had a full ride there.
Yeah.
And two,
to Princeton?
like name recognition alone, I was like,
Yeah.
that'll take me places. So I just
Totally.
went for it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anything about that or anything just moving forward in your childhood that stands out as to who or why you became who you did? Why engineering? He's an engineer. Why engineering?
That's a good question because growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer for the
Really?
longest time. Yeah, that was like my childhood aspiration was to be a lawyer. Obviously, that didn't pan out. I'm happy it didn't because I'm not the biggest fan of English or history for that matter. I think really the engineering stuff happened in the high school when I realized like my love for STEM, like math. I say STEM, but like I despise physics. Physics is probably the worst science ever. I did chemical engineering in college. I love chemistry, but I also don't touch any of my degree, like in my job, and I haven't for a very long time. Like when I started working, I work at Lockheed Martin. Making some booze there, and that's okay.
Very prestigious, very elegant. Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, my comments on the booze
Lockheed
were
Martin.
given ongoing current events that people are, I'll say, very split.
Oh, we'll get into that.
So I work for Lockheed Martin. I do systems engineering. So we like help architect and design the things that we build in the particular business area that I work in. But systems engineering is not chemical engineering. I did material science and engineering as a minor in my undergrad, and I worked that for like the first year and a half, and then ever since I haven't touched any of my quote unquote formal education. So, but I did get a master's through work in systems engineering, so I guess I do touch that part of it now in my day-to-day job.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I would say that at least is my influence professionally and like STEM wise, like who I am as a person influence wise. Shout out to my late father.
Shout out.
Yeah, he like from I'll say core values and sort of shaping me into the man I am today. He definitely had a large influence on that in terms of how I think about life, how I think about fatherhood, how I think about upbringings and all that. So that's, at least from a personal side, what has influenced me to be who I am today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So going back to, let's move to... Listen, this is my show.
I like it.
It's my show.
I like it. It was unexpected is all.
If we want to sit here and do the cha-cha, we'll sit here and do the cha-cha. You know why?
Hey,
Because
Bobby
it's
Shmurda.
Club KK.
Club KK.
Club KK.
I love it.
But moving from that, so let's fast forward to Dallas. So you're from Connecticut. You get all these accolades. You go to college. Why here? Or what was your journey to Dallas?
Yeah. So I left Connecticut. So I graduated in 17. I went back home and worked at a division of Lockheed that was back home, who I had interned with.
You graduated college at 17?
No, 2017, sorry.
Oh,
I graduated the year 2017.
I was about to,
No,
you're
I was
amazing.
21. No,
Why are
I'm
you
not-
here with me? You should be on the news.
I'm not a prodigy. No, not a prodigy. I graduated college at 2017. And then went back to Connecticut and worked at a division of Lockheed that was there, who I'd interned with throughout college. And then I got into this program at work for like early career folks called like the Engineering Leadership and Development Program. It's like a 3-year program and allows you to essentially like jump around and do 1-year rotations like within the corporation. So I did my first rotation like back in Connecticut, and then my second rotation I did in Orlando. in 2020. So literally right before COVID hit. I moved to Orlando in January 2020. COVID hit in March, and then we were literally remote for the entire time. So I was in Orlando for 14 months before I came to Texas. But before I came to Texas, while I was in Orlando, it was a decision between, hey, do you want to go to DFW or do you want to take this opportunity in Marietta, like Metro Atlanta? And I was like, I got love for Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta. I had been to Atlanta prior to. I hadn't really been to Dallas prior to. But the opportunity in Dallas was better from a career trajectory perspective. So I picked that one. So I moved to Dallas in 2021 and have been here ever since. So that's how I worked, is why I got to DFW.
In what way do you think that were better opportunities? Because a lot of people are moving here, a lot of Yankees, a lot of hippies from California are moving here for different opportunities, whether it be, real estate, and we'll get into that, but, job opportunities, things like that. What opportunities have you found in Dallas specifically that kind of piqued your interest?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the rationale behind the move was professionally. So, right, within Lockheed at least, like, we have a huge facility in Fort Worth that makes, like, one of the biggest products and the quote-unquote breadwinner. So, in terms of having mobility and being able to pivot and do different things, I felt like living out here would give me that opportunity, at least internal to the company. I also think that DFW generally has a lot of companies that are in my industry. So if I wanted to pivot and maybe go to a quote-unquote competitor, I would have that flexibility to do that without having to, pick up my life and move elsewhere. And coming from Connecticut, like, there's always a thought that, like, hey, your money will stretch a lot further, like, moving down south, because Connecticut's a very expensive state. So, like, even when I moved to Florida,
Really?
Tax-wise and just Connecticut's expensive.
Oh, my God. So, number one, there nobody knows where Connecticut is. And then they want to charge people for...
When she posts this video, she should put up a poll that asks everybody where Connecticut is. Whether that's geographically, like, what region or what state it's next to.
But...
I feel like it's a decent question. Don't
No,
knock until you try it.
Listen.
Hey, shameless plug, New Haven, Connecticut.
Oh, my
Pizza
God.
capital of the world.
It's what pizza capital of the world.
Pizza capital of the world. That
Pizza
might be a reach. Hold on. That might be a reach because the world is a little nuts. Italy might have that down pat. Cool.
Pizza.
Pizza capital of the U.S. Hit up Modern's Pizza, Sally's, all the other ones. Like Pepe's Pizza is overrated, but it's better than Dallas Pizza or Florida Pizza. Name the best.
Why would you get...
Name the best pizza. Okay, everybody eats pizza. It's like a thing. When you live in Dallas, where do you get your pizza from?
I don't get fucking pizza in Dallas.
You've never gotten pizza in
I've gotten
Dallas?
pizza, like, maybe like a chain. Oh, you know what? I'm lying.
She
because
likes Pizza Hut.
listen.
No denial.
There's a place. I love this place. Shout out to everybody. They're much nicer than Playground Dallas. But they are called Pie 314. And they have wonderful pizza. It's you know what? Let's go after this.
I'm down.
Okay, let's go. It's my favorite place. I take everybody there. I'm sorry.
Pie 314.
Like if I've ever, been interested in you romantically and I've taken you to Pie.
Not as the go-to date night spot.
It really is. And you know what? I would be heartbroken if I saw somebody
You put them on, now they
putting you up. Like, no, I'm terrible. I bring everybody there, but so
hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess.
If it's not broke, because it's so good. They have pizza. They have this drink. They have this drink, and it's called, I don't know what it's called, but it is hibiscus jalapeno margarita.
Not for me.
You have to try it. I thought the same thing, but it's so good, and you don't even taste it's just a little kick. It's just
I'll try yours.
Okay.
I will not get one for myself.
Okay.
Unless I truly
You're going to like it. You're going to enjoy it. And the staff is wonderful. I love everybody there. They take so good care of you, and it's literally the place to be. So we're going to go after that. It's in Carrollton. It's on the way.
I'm about to say it's going south for me. So
yeah, so
works for me.
Yeah, but yeah. Shout out to Pie. But yeah, Pie. Them overcharging in Connecticut is crazy. You couldn't pay, like, that's, what is it, close to Maine? It's up there. Like, it's
close to Maine.
Oh,
Maine's
my
all
God.
the way at the top. And you got Vermont and New Hampshire are the other way around. And then you got Massachusetts, and then you got
Who wants to be with those?
And then you got New York right there. And New Jersey's right there.
I don't like any of those people. Oh, no, hang on. Listen. If you're a friend of mine in New York, I misspoke. I'm sorry. We're going to cut that out.
Live in Dallas that are from Jersey and literally rep Jersey, and she's talking shit about Jersey.
I don't like...
The dirty Jersey, though. It actually literally stinks in Newark. It's a thing.
Yes.
You're driving on the turnpike, and you literally will smell like stench.
Yes.
But shout out to Jersey. I went to school there. That's all I got for you, though.
Anyway. What were you saying? Pizza. Pizza is crazy.
Pizza capital of the U.S. New Haven, Connecticut. I give you names. Modern, number one, hands down. Sally's, decent. The Parties, pretty good. Pepe's, what everyone wants to go to New Haven for, I think it's overrated. Hit up Modern.
Shout out to Modern.
State Street, New Haven, Connecticut. Can't miss it. If I've ever had friends that wanted to go to Connecticut, I don't really have any of those.
He ain't got none.
All right, relax. If there's any opportunity to go to Connecticut, the only thing I could offer you is pizza.
That's
We
it.
can go to New York City to have a good time, though.
You're going to charge all that money to stay there for pizza.
It's
And
cool.
5 black people. Think about it, America.
5 is a little low. I told her it's in New Haven. I said New Haven was a black city.
Maybe I have to go there for myself. I just don't believe that.
I only eat the pizza.
What kind of black people are they? Are they like the get out black people that were hypnotized?
I feel like those are everywhere. We got those in Texas. Especially in Houston.
No.
She's a little patriotic about Houston, Texas.
The United States of Houston, Texas. Shout out. Houston is going down.
Shout out to the Houston Rockets.
Shout out to Beyonce and the Houston Rockets and the Houston Astros. We didn't cheat. Y'all are just jealous. Shout out to the Houston
to the Yankees. They did cheat. They were stealing signs.
No.
That's why
Are you
boy got
Are
the
you
boot.
joking? Are you fucking serious?
You don't think it happened?
No, it's a lie. It's a lie.
So why did you guys get fined and all that and accept it?
Because
you didn't even fight it. No appeal.
Why argue with ignorance?
The city of Houston are notoriously bad at sports.
Okay, all right.
The Houston Astros are cheaters.
No, we're not.
The Houston Rockets are miserable.
No, listen.
Yes or no?
You're going to stay off.
The Houston Texans are actually decent. But they also had Deshaun Watson on the team, so shout out to...
Okay, all right, okay.
You know what he did.
Listen.
This is coming from a New England Patriots fan, so...
New England Patriots is crazy. That's crazy. Let's move on because we're gonna
shout out to the Patriots, best team in the past 20 years, hands down. That cannot be argued.
They cheated, Mister.
That's what they said about us.
Yeah,
we did try to record practices. That did happen.
Yeah,
Deflategate is not real. You still would not win.
We saw it on.
We
saw it in HD.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying if the balls were truly deflated, then both quarterbacks would have had an upper hand. It just seems that we beat that team by like 20 or 30 points.
Okay.
Deflated footballs is not the reason for that. The reason for it is that the team was ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Just keep.
Over.
Yeah. No. Keep going. This is fairy tale hour. Go ahead.
Greatest quarterback of all time cannot be argued.
It can't. I'm not even gonna lie.
She has some sense.
Yeah, some sense is crazy. Listen.
Well, you just told me the Houston Rockets are. You're a full.
So you got a new home. Congratulations on your new home. Congratulations on your new home. You just got it. It's so wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about that. What inspired you to plant roots in Texas and buy a home?
So when I relocated for work, they usually match you up with like a realtor who like helps you if you want to buy a home. I wasn't ready to buy a home in 2021. But it had been on my mind for a while. I was like the whole like paying rent and like that really not going back into my pockets whatsoever. So I sat on it for like 2 years. Like I got an apartment in Uptown for 12 months, and then I got an apartment in Downtown. And I got my apartment in Downtown. I told myself, like, I'm gonna splurge and have like this luxury apartment, and like this is gonna be my last one. So I did that. I signed like a long lease for like 18 or 20 months and said, all right, this is like my last apartment. I need to get on the ball and like go buy a house. And like when I bought the house in Texas, it wasn't really because I told myself I wanted to like stay in Texas forever. It was more of the mindset of like, if I'm paying this much for rent, I can get a mortgage that's the same price and it's mine. I can do what I want with it. And like I'm building equity and like financially supporting myself whenever I decide to potentially sell it, rent it, whatever it's going to be. So that was really what like my MO was. And buying a house was like, hey, even if I don't stay in Texas forever, I would still probably maintain like that asset in my portfolio and rent it out. At the time, it was right to sell it and the price was right. And like, all right, bet here, like take it, make crazy profit. Love that for me. But yeah, every time I tell people like, oh, I bought a house in Texas, they think, yeah, I'm going to be here forever. And I feel like I'll be here for a while. Like definitely buying a house, like definitely like puts me in like this 3 to 5 year window where like, yeah, this is my house for that time. In terms of a primary residence. But like if an opportunity came up and it made sense to like relocate elsewhere, I wouldn't look at the house as a hindrance to me moving elsewhere. Like to me, it's like a benefit to have. I can maintain it and have passive income if I want to.
Well, it ain't just you now. Now you got a family.
That too. So I mean, that obviously makes relocation even more interesting in terms of thinking about education and school systems. Picking up, moving 3 to be 4 people isn't an easy thing. The look at the camera was crazy.
I had to think about it. Yes, there's 3.
There's 3. Yep. Soon to be 4.
Soon to be 4. Oh.
End of July.
And it's going to be a boy.
She can't release his podcast for a couple of weeks because we haven't even announced that to the public.
Well, you heard him.
Yeah, we're supposed to announce like a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, only the friend group, the Dallas friend group and family knows for the most part.
That's good.
And like the best friends that don't live in Dallas, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Keep it private. I think it's going to be a boy. What do you think it's going to be?
It's going to be a girl.
You want to put bet on it?
Yeah, what's the wager?
$5. You heard it here first.
We won't know until end of July because we are not finding out the sex until then.
Oh, so you're like having the baby and then that'll be. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people.
The concept of like gender reveals is kind of wild. So
really,
especially like, it's just like visually when you see some of them videos, like, and it's particularly on the fathers, unfortunately, but like the fathers that like really to aspire to have their quote unquote namesake or a son. Like disappointment at the fact that you're having a daughter is kind of crazy.
It is,
and like
it's
especially like
crazy.
That's recorded, and then like your daughter sees that at some point. It's like, oh, daddy, like you weren't excited to like potentially have me,
right?
I could. So I'm not saying that's how it would have been for us, but I think that gender reveals are rooted in like people aspiring to have a particular like gender, right? Whether it's a son or a daughter. So
I can see
we're gonna be happy
with
with whatever
it
is. So. Like baby shower would be like neutral. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, they actually thought I was going to be a boy.
Yeah, I
rained on that parade. Like the doctors actually like said to my mom, "Oh, a boy."
And lo and behold,
we have a Kennedy.
Yeah, shout out to Khalil. Khalil almost didn't make it out because I was a greedy boy in the womb.
You ate his food?
Sure did.
Oh, my God.
I came out chunky. He came out very small.
Oh, my God.
But shout out to my boy.
Yes, shout out to him.
Womb to the tomb.
Mr. Twin. I still can't believe that. So what do you think about Dallas right now? Like in the area that you are in is developing.
Yeah.
What inspired you to go into East Dallas?
South Dallas.
South Dallas, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is leading people to move there? Because I actually have a cousin. She and her husband just moved to I forget the street off the top of my head, but they're like 10 minutes from you, and there's a lot of development happening in that area. Yeah. Why do you think? Well, gentrification, but
100% gentrification.
Yeah, but
South Dallas is black.
Yeah,
very black. I think that's what one of my pulls to it was, because it was a black area. So like when I was looking, I knew I wanted to stay in Dallas. I knew my job is out in Fort Worth. I primarily work from home. I have to go to Fort Worth every now and then. So like commuting once or twice a week, I'm okay with. But Fort Worth to me is a lot slower than Dallas. And in my head, it's a lot more family oriented than Dallas. And I enjoy currently like being close to the city and like being able to like get out and like go hang out with friends, or like go hit the bar, or like go hit these really cool restaurants. So that was sort of like my MO behind staying in Dallas as opposed to moving to Fort Worth. I mean, I even looked like the midpoints, like the Ulysses of the world, like Grand Prairie, maybe even Arlington. I looked at those places too, but the houses there weren't to what I wanted, so I didn't really venture there. So most of the properties I looked at were South Dallas and West Dallas, because I didn't want to go east of downtown in case I ever had to commute to work. I didn't want to have to go against that downtown traffic. So I said, if I live in South Dallas, I can just hit I-30 West and hop straight on. If I live in West Dallas, I mean, even better, just hit I-30 and keep going. But living in South Dallas, like most of the properties I looked at and I favored were South Dallas. A lot of them were all new construction, because again, it goes back to like they are developing crazy in South Dallas. Like even on my block alone, like my street alone, there are like 2 houses that are currently under development, and there are like 2 other new constructions or 3 other new constructions that were like are occupied now. But like if you go down the street, there's like a whole nother street that's entirely new development. But again, like because they're actively working to gentrify, like not everything is like sweet down there, right? Like for example, like the house next door to me, like that was 100% a bando at one point until they moved out.
Oh my God!
Like there's a corner store around the corner. Like there are like a good number of homeless people that hang out over there. There's like prostitution nearby. So like again, it's like one of those things where it's like this definitely isn't a forever home, right? Like this isn't like I'll say an environment I would want to raise like my family in. It's a good starter home. So definitely not the be all end all, but a good start in terms of occupying real estate, owning real estate, getting equity out of that real estate and potentially reselling at some point, and or just maintaining it and renting it out. So I guess from a financial perspective, got in early in terms of prior to the full out gentrification. I think long term that will lead to a good increase in equity for potential resale value.
Why do you feel like that's important for like us as a people, like Black people? I feel like we need more ownership. We need more couples, having homes together, raising families together. Why did you feel like that was important? And why do you feel like it is important?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, we didn't own property, right? Like we rented out like multi-family homes, and like we'd occupy like the second and third floor because we were 6 of us, so 8 of us total with parent and mom, my dad and my stepmom. So like for me, my dad's always instilled like owning assets and owning property being like a long-term dream of his. He never got to do it, and shortly thereafter his passing, like I was able to do it. So it's always been like this thing where it's like, as Black people, like I think I'll say a big hindrance to us inserting ourselves in that game is that we are just uninformed, because generationally we just don't know what we don't know, right? And you look at the converse, if you have like well-off white folks or other people that actually are well-off from a wealthy perspective, like they know how to play the game. Like when we talk about having trust and whatnot, as opposed to like having wills when you're passing on properties, like where a trust you don't have to pay the taxes that you would on a will, like things like that like you just don't know if you don't know.
Shout out to Delta Legal Group. We can get y'all straight. Texas. Only Texas.
Only Texas. But yeah, it's just, I think it's important for us to have our own assets, have our own wealth, build our wealth, and build generational wealth, so that like the things that we aspire to do, we don't have like the inability to do those things. And I feel like whether people like it or not, money makes the world go round. It is literally what allows you to do the things. I'll see personally. It's what allows me to do the things that I love to do. I love to travel. Travel isn't cheap. You can definitely make it cheap. Obviously, I'll say more affordable. Cheap is more affordable.
You don't want to be cheap. You want to be affordable.
Spend money on the things you want to spend money on.
Right.
But like I love to travel, and that costs money. I love to like go do those kinds of things. I love to go eat at a good restaurant. That requires money. Just like my livelihood and like who I am as a person, whether it's clothing or like house or like all those things, like those require money. So I think that like one of my goals, like as I grow up and like build a family, is getting smarter on financial wellness and wealth, and ensuring that like there are assets in like my family's name to pass on to our kids. Like I didn't have that growing up. Like we didn't come into any kind of inheritance or anything like that. Now, for better or for worse, I think that also like lent me some good character traits in terms of like knowing how to like be a go-getter, go out and get it, be perseverant and all those things. I don't think having generational wealth necessarily needs to mean that you don't have those character traits either. I think a lot of times we as Black people think that, oh, like we don't want to like feed our kids on a silver spoon or a gold spoon. And I think you can have generational wealth and still like sort of have that quote unquote upbringing that instills those good character traits in your kids. Yeah.
What do you feel about nepotism?
I think it's a silver lining. I think nepotism is a good thing, and honestly, like they do it all day long. So I feel like we as Black people kind of look at it and frown upon it, but I feel like if we were in those positions of power and able to do those things, and some of us are, but I think obviously the scale is definitely imbalanced. I think we would do the same thing that they're doing. So I think nepotism to me is like a silver lining, where my thing is like nepotism is good if like the person you're putting in that position actually has the skill set to actually perform and deliver. Right? If you're just putting like a relative in a position just because they're your relative and like they're not good at their job, then like that's when it becomes a bad thing. But like if you have the influence and power to put someone in a position like they're actually going to benefit that corporation or that whatever it is, do it. I'd rather like keep the money in the family than not. And if they're going to perform and deliver, I'm all for it.
100% agree. And I'm not just saying this because I am a product of nepotism. I love nepotism, but I also like, short story, I got my job straight out of college. The job that I'm actually still working at now. It's been 3 years. My cousins own a law firm, the ones I shouted out. Shout out to Dawson Legal Group. Shout out to crowdfunding lawyers. You know, but they gave me a job right out of college as an executive assistant, and they're teaching me the values of entrepreneurship. They built all of this from the ground up. They own the building that we're currently standing in, all these cameras, all that jazz. Own it all. And I feel like that's what it's about. Like we just need to take the torch. One of the things that the elders of my family instilled in me was that the notion of you can do at least this. So like if I'm a welder, the least you can be is a welder. If I'm a project manager, if I'm the VP at HR, the least you can do is that.
Sky's the limit.
Right. Yeah. And like they set the bar, they set that tone for all of the people in my family. So I'm sitting here trying to be a millionaire. Like I want to be a business owner. I want to own multiple assets. I want to be able to buy. My ultimate goal is to buy businesses, scale them, and then sell them at a profit. That's what I like to do. That's what keeps my mind going. And then, of course, you can make a bunch of money doing that. And that's ultimately my overall goal. So I know that how do you feel about that? Do you think that we kind of sometimes hold ourselves back from that, the whole realistic versus unrealistic expectations? Like,
yeah, we 100% do.
Yeah, like people ask, like, here's what blows me. People say things like they pray to God. Like I'm a person of faith, but they pray to God for people. Oh, get so and so out the hospital. peaceful.
In times of need.
Yeah, peaceful and, bring peace to Palestine,
Mm-hmm.
bring, stop war, things like that. You're asking and believing in God for all these things. And I'm sure that a lot of people do. That's health. That's somebody's life.
Right.
Life is the most precious thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What's $1 million to God?
Right.
Nothing.
It's all superficial.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, my thing is that, you can ask God for, these things to keep you, steady and keep you afloat, which is like, it's a good thing. But ask and you shall receive.
Right.
Ask for, God can do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the sky's the limit, like you just said. I don't know, like, how do you feel like that impacts our culture? Like, how do you feel like a lot of people have that same mindset or what?
Yeah, I think as Black people, we are more afraid of fear than like white people or our counterparts that are more affluent or have the wiggle room and the safety net to fail and be okay. I think the biggest reason why we are more fearful of failure is because a lot of us don't have that safety net. Like, if we fail, like, we don't have anything to fall back on.
Right.
It's like, for example, like, personally, like, if I fail and, like, I can't, like, pay my mortgage or something, or, like, can't provide, then, like, I think I'm lucky enough to say, like, I have a safety net where I can go to live with my mom and be there for some period of time. But that hasn't always been the case. Now, that's also not something that I want to do. Like, I don't want to be reliant. And I think that's also, like, a typical mindset of, I'll say, a lot of Black people from, like, our generation and before us. It's like, yeah, we want to be self-sufficient. Like, we want to be able to, like, handle our own. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of times when we do get help from even family, like, there's always this thought of, like, they're going to hang that over your head. Or,
like, you didn't get it out the mud.
Looking to get that back at some point. And I'm just like, I never want to live in a space where, like, I owe somebody something.
Right.
Because more times than not, they're going to come back and bring that up. And I'm not trying to be in that position where, I owe you something. You feel like you have something over me and you can influence me in whatever way you desire. So I think those, like, contribute to why a lot of Black people have that mindset where they're afraid of failure. They're afraid to go out and do things that in their mind are unrealistic. And it really just comes back to, I'll say, confidence in having a safety net. Like, if I fail, I have something to go back home to. A lot of times in our positions, we don't have that safety net.
Right. And I feel like that's the most important thing to turn around because, of course, like, the historical implications of, slavery and things like that are still, like, it's shifted our whole world. And so I feel like us having that crutch, like, I'm going to go back to my family's example. The least you can be is this, is because they've already built that stepping stone. They've already built that step.
Right.
So if I can
What's next?
Meet that and then maybe, like, use that as a boost to go higher, then I feel like that would be the best thing to do. So the next person that comes behind me, they can use me as that step in order to go higher. And then that's how we build that wealth and that generation. But yeah, we've just been done so wrong these past, like, it's hard. I'm not even gonna take that from you.
Lasting effects that I think people, I'll say I think the world understates and doesn't realize. Even psychological trauma is really what it comes down to.
Right, exactly.
That's the hardest part, overcoming that.
Yeah, it's the craziest thing, but we're gonna get there.
Absolutely.
Shout out Black History Month. It's Women's History Month right now, but
shout out to
shout out to us. We're doing the damn thing.
Making it happen.
We're making it happen.
Person by person, family by family.
Word. So, you already answered that question. What are your ultimate goals in life?
I feel like that's shifted a lot, like, over the past couple of years. Like, I'll start professionally and then, like, maybe speak personally. I feel like professionally, at a certain point, like, I had aspirations on being, like, a C-suite employee, so, like, an executive, whether that's, like, CEO of some company or, like, COO or whatever, some chief executive was sort of, like, where my aspirations were at one point. Recently, I feel like they've shifted a bit into being more of, like, this technical subject matter expert that isn't really necessarily, like, in the spotlight from a leadership perspective, but is, like, that person that knows a little bit about a lot, is obviously, like, knowledgeable on their particular subject, and is, like, that resource for the corporation. Like, there's hard to fix issue. Like I'm their go-to person. Like I get to go like travel the world and like be this subject matter expert. So that's like kind of where my head is professionally. I'm still trying to figure that out, but
Yeah,
we're still young. So I'm not, I think, in any like hard pressed position to like figure that out right now.
Work.
Personally, like goal wise, definitely want to own a lot of assets. I think real estate is like definitely like one of those pockets where I want to sort of get a little more intimately familiar with. So buying properties, whether that's commercial real estate or residential real estate, like figuring like all of that out. Like I got my first home now, and obviously in my head right now that would be a property that stays within the portfolio if the numbers make sense. And I'm currently like in process and working like buy like my grandmother's house back home, so like we can keep that in the family. So that would be like another stream of income. Obviously, she would still remain there, but there's an apartment on the first floor that I would be able to rent out, so passive income there. So I think long term, like the thought is building that portfolio up, and I think we talked about this earlier, like ensuring that that is systematized to a point where like I don't really have to do a ton. I just like have to ensure that I have the proper people and like systems and operations in place, and like it will run itself and like generate passive income.
Work.
So that's like the passive income side of things. I think my biggest thing that I desire in general on like sort of like goals and impact is just like I'm a big fan of like the quote or phrase like leaving like footprints in the sand. So like ensuring that there is some lasting impact. Like I'm not like a person that's super I need to be known for doing XYZ, or like I need my name to be like front and center, or like I need to be on the main screen or whatever. Like if that's a byproduct of some of the work I'm doing, cool. It's not an aspiration of mine. I think the biggest thing I want to be able to do is like impact the next generation. So like when it comes to like STEM, for example, like being able to be that role model or like that person that a young black child looks up to and says like, oh, like growing up, like we had all these depictions of non-black people like being these engineers or like working at these companies. Like here you are as like this black man doing this thing. So like I have a visualization of what is possible that may not be in like the textbooks that we are forced to read at school. So like really just leaving an impact, and that's like external. Like I'm talking about STEM and kids that like aren't like my family. I think personally, like family wise, I obviously want to do the same thing, and just fatherhood is like super important to me. So ensuring that I'm a role model for my kids and ensuring that they understand that, you know, again, the sky is the limit, and like there really is no limitation. Like whatever your heart's desire, like that is possible. And obviously not trying to like push them one way or another, just like ensuring that they are raised in a family, in a household that like allows them to feel comfortable communicating and expressing like what their desires are. I think a lot of times we didn't have that growing up. It was sort of the whole black parenting where it's like you do as I say. Literally, do as I say. Like whatever you got going on, like, and I don't really care to hear your opinion. Like this is what it is. This is what it ain't. So like stepping into like this era of parenting where it's like being able to communicate with your children effectively and not shutting them down, because I think like as kids who have lived through that, like that's not beneficial and doesn't really, it kind of stunts like effective communication abilities. And I think there are a lot of things that like we learn as children and like we obviously want to change for our own parenting. And obviously like generationally, I think we can only improve. Like I will never like fault my parents for like the things that they did. Like I would communicate with them like, here's what you did and here's what I didn't like as an adult at this point, because like I'm an independent person and I can say these things without feeling like any sense of like repercussions. But yeah, I mean, the goal is always to do better than, you know, our parents, and like obviously for your children, you want them to be better than you. So just trying to provide that safe space and that opportunity for them to be all that they want to be.
Word.
Yeah.
All right. And just the last question on this segment before we get into the bonus stuff is, what would you want your legacy to be, and who inspired that legacy?
I mean, I touched on it a bit, right? I think that the legacy I wanted to leave like isn't something that in my head right now is like super impactful is not the word, but like super resounding or like extravagant, right? I think my legacy is really just impacting the most number of people that I can impact positively in terms of whether that's, hey, you can do this, I'm your role model for STEM, whether that's, hey, like we had a conversation, you told me about these various opportunities that I've now like put into like my toolbox. Now I can go actually like try to go obtain those opportunities, or whether that's just a, hey, you inspired me just by like this sidebar conversation we had at the bar about like what you do, where you've been, like what's going on. I think a lot of times when we think about legacy, we overcomplicate it a bit. Like you could literally have a 5-minute conversation with somebody on the train, and like that could be the thing that they needed to go do everything they desire to do in their lives.
Yeah.
So I think my legacy is like kind of like that, just trying to positively impact people wherever I can, whenever I can, whether that's like family, friends, strangers, just trying to like ensure that the way I'm interacting with them is in a manner that isn't off-putting, isn't like, hey, Kahdeem's non-approachable or unapproachable. I think over time, as I've gotten older, like I've become more in tune with like emotional intelligence and like how that literally is like, for me at least, is like the end all be all in terms of like being able to communicate with people effectively. Whether that's like you trying to communicate with someone effectively because like you have some need from them, like especially at work, or that's just like, hey, I'm here to just like sit back and listen to you, just to listen, not to respond, and just like being like aware of like surroundings and communication. So yeah, for me, it's just like positive impact on as many people as possible, and that impact spans the spectrum.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Kahdeem Cohens.
Kahdeem Cohens.
We love to see it. All right. Thank you for
bonus question scared me.
Answer. It should.
She didn't give me insight on the bonus one.
I did not.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. So, but first, before it gets interesting,
Gotta do pickleback again?
Yeah. What?
Gotta do pickleback again?
I mean, if you want to.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm good. I'll pass.
Okay.
I got my refill though.
Okay.
I'm not I'll pass on the picklebacks forever.
Not forever. There's this drink that I also like that I have just discovered. It's called an Irish car bomb.
Is that the one where you got to dump it in some liquor or something, right? Yeah.
Yes. I love it.
It's like Jaeger, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, and beer and
Yeah, I haven't had that in years either.
Yeah, it's good. You're
discovering all these new drinks.
Huh?
You say you're discovering all these new drinks.
I know.
Love that for you.
Me too. And they have one. There's a place called the Nodding Donkey that is in Uptown that you can go besides the playground, Dallas. You can dump that place and go to the Nodding Donkey. It's like 5 minutes away. And they have the Irish car bombs, and it's good.
Shout out to Uptown. Uptown used to have some fire ass black venues.
Word.
Like, and now I'm blanking. Turkey Dam and House of Heroes. They all shut down. I don't think Uptown is in favor of having black owned businesses, but
no, they're all white.
And I think it's called. I want to say it's called Gaslight. It was like right next to House of Heroes. That burned down.
I've heard of that.
That burned down too.
Oh my god!
Like right when I moved to Texas.
Crazy.
That burned down. But again, another black-owned business gone. But they got what's the name down the street? It's what I talked to you about earlier. I can't remember the name of it. It's like right around the corner from Breadwinners, and it's like right down the street from House of Heroes. And I feel like we've all gone to something.
I don't really go out that much. This is the only time that I'm out. I just work day and night. 9 to 5, and then go home and work again. I don't free myself.
She says that, and we have confirmed that she's going to be outside tomorrow. So, so what was all that?
Listen.
Oh, Palms.
Palms. I've been to Palms.
I don't know if Palms is black owned. It seems black owned, but that also, I don't know.
There's just
black people frequent it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a black establishment. That doesn't mean it's black owned.
Yeah.
But Palms is cool.
Yeah, they're all right. The floor is sticky.
I've never had that experience, but I would not be surprised.
I've only been there once, but it's a nice.
Palms is all right.
They ain't got no parking. That's
Yeah,
another thing.
no.
Parking in downtown Dallas is terrible.
That's why when I lived there, it was amazing because I was just like, I didn't have to go. I just Uber.
Yeah,
I would just walk to Deep Ellum. Or if, see, here's the thing. She's making all these faces. You could have just told me, hey, I'm going to downtown to Deep Ellum. I would say you could just park downstairs in the parking lot. Can't do that anymore, though.
Yeah.
Actually, you probably could. I'm not going to say this on camera, but we can talk.
All right. You heard it here first. All right, let's take this and answer some questions. Woo!
Salty caramel. It's very sweet. I feel like you're a sweet liquor person anyway.
Not necessarily. I like bitter.
Well,
Like this wine, bitter.
That's not bitter. Keep passing the wine.
Mm-hmm.
Transition. See if this is a good choice.
Yeah, he requested this. He hasn't drunk a glass all night. All night.
I requested this?
You requested this.
I said wine.
You said red wine.
I just said
You said, he told me, I ain't gonna come to your show. It's lame and it sucks, but I'll pity you
that doesn't
and I'll
sound
come
true. That's what I mean.
and just have red wine there since I know that's all you can afford. That's
if
what he said to
anybody
me.
knows me, then we all know that she is talking cash shit. Lies, all cap. That is a nice little draft.
I know, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my head, I
$10.
remembered Menage a Trois being sweet. But maybe they want something else. You all right over there?
I'm okay.
Gotta put some mask on in here.
All right. What?
So we have to put mask on in here. You're coughing.
Okay. I don't have
COVID's
to.
not dead.
Okay, all right. This guy. Listen. So we're going to play a short game
Oh, boy.
first
Okay.
called
Me too.
This or That.
You can get with this, or you can get with that.
You can get with this. You can get with that. Yeah.
Because this is where it's at.
So I'm going to ask you a series of this or that questions. And if you don't want to answer, you take a drink.
Okay.
So, and they're pretty easy questions. I saved
the person that made them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This guy. Listen.
In this game, you're asking the questions, but I feel like you should also answer them yourself.
I'll answer them myself.
Fair.
Okay. All right. This is this or that. First, Trump or Biden?
In my head, I'm going to say Biden because I know when I actually voted, it was not for Trump, like back when Hillary was running. Yeah, so I'll say Biden. And I'll say that with a caveat that I think they're both not great candidates, but alas, potentially the better of the two evils. But
Word.
yeah,
I don't like either of them, so I'm going to take a drink.
fair enough. I'm also not like super politically inclined. It's a desire of mine to become smarter politically, but I'm not politically inclined.
Honey, that's a whole monkey wrench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, boxers or briefs?
I'm briefs 100%.
Really? Why?
I don't remember the last time I owned a pair of like boxers, to be honest. I feel like, I don't know, briefs are more comfortable to me. I feel like it...
like tidy whities?
No, briefs. Briefs are not tidy whities. Briefs are different from tidy whities. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to be funny. Like I haven't, like, you know, like boxers, like people that wear like the plaid boxers.
Yeah, oh my God.
Like, to me, that just like brings back like 2005.
Word.
And sometimes I still see them today. I'm like, oh, all right. But yes, I don't own a pair of boxers anymore. I don't own boxers anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Boxers? I don't know. Don't know what these
We
things
had an
are.
agreement she was going to answer the questions too, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Boxers, I guess. Listen. Would you rather fight a bear or a tiger?
Help the bear.
Grizzly bear. Help the bear.
Bear or tiger? Ah, man. I'm gonna go bear.
They're both angry and they're coming at you. What do you do? Who do you
I
fight?
feel like the bear's a little less agile than the tiger, so I'm gonna go bear.
Okay.
I
Same.
would obviously still get my ass kicked either way, I think. But with the bears, like, you put to make yourself
You have
big
a
and just
chance,
yell at them.
yeah.
And then they run away, so maybe that'll work.
Yeah,
Or I
agree.
give them like a salmon or something.
Or a bear hug.
He'll bear hug the hell out of me. I won't make it. Scratch the hell out of me.
LOL. Next.
Oh,
You
come on.
kind of.
You have to answer the question.
Oh, bear. I agree. Bear.
Mhm.
Yeah. Help. Yeah. I feel like I'm faster than a bear. And if not, then there's something I can
I
do.
think bears are pretty fast.
Yeah.
Then we underestimate them.
There's
I
something.
think they be moving.
What if I offered some honey?
Or you gonna
What if
put
it's like Pooh Bear?
I thought we were talking
Right.
about grizzly bears, not Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, I'm
It's Winnie the Pooh. I'm
listen,
here for it.
I'm just trying to throw loopholes in my own questions.
Shout out to Piglet.
Shout out to.
That's not Winnie the Pooh, right?
It is Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah, Tigger
but
and Piglet. Right?
he was kind of annoying. Piglet. Anyway,
Maybe calling them. I might want to say that on camera. A reputation uphold him. That'll be somewhat of a professional. It's gonna be publicly accessible.
whatever you just said.
I have a job to keep.
All right. For Pooh Bear?
No, I was gonna say something else.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah. Moving on. Would you rather owe money or owe a favor?
Money, because it's concrete. A favor could be too many things. Money.
That's a good point.
Here it is. I think it's also like my it's a mindset ideology thing. Like I'm super.
He's a Scorpio.
I am a Scorpio. I'm like a black and white person, so like it is or it ain't.
Yeah.
And if it's money, I know what it is. If it's a favor, that could be like a million different things. So I want to know what it is, and if it's money, cool. Here you go.
Word.
I don't got to think about it.
Yeah, I thought I didn't actually know what to say about this, but I agree with you. I agree with that point. You have swayed me. Money. Yeah,
But like in the same vein, I hate owing people money.
Me too.
Like a favor is like, oh, like I scratch your back, now you scratch mine. It's like, oh, like for example, like oh, like you brought me a bottle because I couldn't go make it to the liquor store. Like okay, got you next time. Like those kind of favors, like I would take that over. I would take those kind of favors over money. But if you say generally in favors, I'm just like I don't really know what that means. So
Yeah, because what if they want you to like help them move or something? No point.
it all depends on what floor you live on and if you got elevators.
I ain't got no arms.
She's also 5'3".
Okay. All right. We didn't have to say that.
What is she?
He meant 6'3". We'll edit
That's
that.
me.
It's okay.
What is she? She's gonna help pack the boxes.
Okay. I don't want to do any of it.
Me neither. I also don't. My last move. Tasia convinced me to do some of it by myself. Because my last two moves have been with work. And work, I don't got to do a goddamn thing. They will literally come, assess the home, pack your stuff up, put it in storage, ship it, unpack it. It's amazing.
Nice.
This last move wasn't a work move. It was because I bought a house and I was still at the same job. Tasia convinced me to pack stuff, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. I haven't packed stuff in just a very long time, and it's just not fun. I did have people move it. I didn't move it myself, but the packing part, that's the worst part. Packing is the worst part. I would pay somebody to pack, never have to move. And I would do that willingly to the day that I leave this earth.
Word.
It's horrible.
I agree. 100%. Yeah. Owe money. For sure. Morning or night? This is an easy one for me.
Is there any context to that?
No, just like, are you a morning person or a night person?
I get up early. I'm a morning person.
Same.
But I also don't sleep enough, so like
Okay.
I get up usually anywhere between 4:45 and 6. I'm going to the gym in the morning, it's at least 4:45, so I can get to the gym at 5. And I get to work at 6. get to work at 6 by, like, get back home and, like, be at my desk by 6. But I also don't go to sleep probably until, like, 11 or 12.
At night?
Yeah, so I probably get less than 5 hours usually on a weekday. Friday through Sunday, I get a little more. I probably get, like, sometimes it's the same amount. Gotta be better about getting more sleep.
Yeah. You don't want to crash.
See, but I haven't. I've been doing it for years. Not to say that's a good thing. I'm just saying I feel like if I was gonna crash, it would have happened already. I could definitely do better. So, she's like, want me to crash and she's yawning.
I didn't yawn. I scratched my nose.
Oh, I thought you yawned. My bad. Assumption.
You see how?
So I'm just making an ass out of you and me.
Yeah. I ain't even did nothing. Listen. Dinner with Jay-Z.
Oh, brother.
No. There's a difference. Or $5,000. It's a lesser amount of money. Or dinner with Jay-Z. And Jay-Z will take you anywhere that you want.
See, I've been seeing this on, like, Twitter for, like, the past couple of years. It's just like me personally, like, my aspirations, like, what am I about to talk to Jay-Z about? Like, yeah, he's like a mogul, like, he's an industry mogul. He's like, obviously has the business sense. So, like, and from that perspective, it's like, okay, yeah, I want to get into business. Like, what tips do you have? And $5,000, like, is a good amount of money, but it's not, like, an insane, like, life-altering amount of money.
That's why it's tricky.
I'm going to say $5,000 could make some nice renovations to the house.
You can't even get a Beyonce ticket for $5,000.
I'm not trying to go see her anyway.
Did you hear? Sting him.
You went to
Hive.
Renaissance.
Sting.
Renaissance
I
show, right?
sure did, and I had a wonderful time.
I love that for y'all.
24 to 80 out the trap. Hit it with a rap. Put it on the map. Bring it right back. Call you when you want to get hot.
Alien Superstar is my shit, though.
I love that.
That is my shit.
I'm the bar.
Alien
Superstar.
Yeah, that's my shit.
I love that whole album. I didn't get it at first, but now I love it.
I love the entire album, but I got put on to certain songs.
I love the transition from be yourself round me, yourself round me.
Oh, I like that song.
What's that song?
You asked the wrong person.
Whatever that song is, I can't think right now. But that transition in Virgo's Groove, I love that transition.
Shout out to the Virgos.
Yes, shout out to the Virgos. I have to think about it for a second, but yeah, shout out to the Virgos. I like the Virgos. They're meticulous and organized, and they make the world more organized.
I never thought.
Yeah,
never
they're
had
not.
that perspective on it, but
They
it
just
works.
crazy. Oh my God, they're crazy. You can't say nothing, but I say it. They're crazy. They're crazy. But they're a good crazy. They're not crazy like Aries crazy. Those people are crazy.
I don't know, Aries. What's that?
It is March 23rd to the through April 19th, I think.
How do you know that? You know all the signs? And like
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I only know signs because of obviously mine. Mm-hmm. But I'm lucky because my twin, obviously, and my mom are the same sign.
Yeah.
I know my dad's, I know my sisters. I know both of my sisters. Yeah, I don't know the other ones. And I know Virgo because of Tasia. But I wouldn't know it outside of that. What day is your birthday? I forget. It just happened.
January 16th.
Oh, you're a Cap.
I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah, my sister's January 6th. That's why I know January.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have January 6th and January 14th.
Ain't she great?
Shout out to Amber.
Shout out to Amber.
She's my sister and I love her dearly. She's a pain in my ass. But I love her forever. Unconditionally.
He doesn't mean that. Honestly,
when you see this,
if I could
listen, really mean it.
Honestly, if I could pick somebody, because all the signs are annoying to me.
Outside of the Caps, or
no, they're even us. Like I can't see myself probably like my favorite two, like my top three signs are probably It's changed because it used to be Aquarius #1.
When is that?
That is the sign right. I'm a cusp, so I'm like.
So it's like the February.
No, it
December.
ends in February.
Oh.
Like it ends February 19th, but it starts on January 20th.
My other brother is February 28th. What's that?
February.
It's like it just passed 2 days ago. Pisces. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they used to be my #1, but they've been pushed down because I like Scorpios more. But I'll tell you why. Because
man.
I just can't deal with it. Because they're just, they're like Aquarius is, they're intelligent. They're nice, and they have that whole like bravado, like, oh, I'm great. I love that. But as far as like, if I was stuck in a room with one sign for the rest of my life, what would I do? Like with Scorpios, y'all have a healed Scorpio. Let me just say that. Because y'all can be crazy too. Y'all got too many emotions. Y'all are emotional.
I thought it was too good to be true. I thought they weren't getting any slack, but here we go.
There's
like just a universal hatred for Scorpios.
No, I don't hate Scorpios. Y'all are the most. I can tolerate y'all. Somebody on Twitter said that one time that y'all are Cancers with a leather jacket. That's true. I can agree with that.
I wish I knew more about astronomy and science, but
I'll give you a hint. They cry. They just emotions just yes, they're just dramatic.
I thought I used to be a brick wall. I've definitely got more in tune with my emotions.
But I feel like with Scorpios, you can just say stop it, and they'll just stop. They won't keep going.
See, I just feel like personally, I'm never like the person to like wear my emotions on my sleeve unless it's something like I'm with it I trust.
Because y'all are in y'all heads a lot.
I got this thick shit. Like I got this facade in the show. You ain't gonna get in.
Yeah.
Mysterious. Like I know a lot, but you ain't gonna know I know what I know.
But I feel if you just ignore that, if you don't buy into that, and you just ignore it long enough, then they'll open up. Because that's annoying.
That bothers a lot of people.
It bothers because why are you doing that?
Because I don't know you and I don't trust you. Once the trust is built, then that wall goes.
You're a person. What could you possibly? Did you kill Osama bin Laden?
It's all ideological. I'm a person who I think that people are inherently selfish, as they should be. Some people think. Now we're getting like philosophies. It's like Thomas Hobbes and John Locke.
Okay, all right, Mr. Princeton, go ahead.
I did engineering at Princeton. I didn't take any of this shit.
Shout out to John Locke. I'm a capitalist.
Everyone's a capitalist at the heart of it. They have a job and they want to survive in America.
Word.
Okay, survive might not be the right word. Thrive. But yeah, I think people are inherently selfish. So with that mentality, then yeah, I'm naturally going to have a wall built up, regardless of who you are, until you show me otherwise. That you can't be trusted. John Locke's a clean slate person, so everybody comes in, they got a clean slate, so you're good to go in his book, not Kahdeem's. I don't know you. And again, this goes bringing it back a little full circle to what we talked about earlier. This goes back to it though. Like my upbringing was one where it's like, if you don't know that person, you cannot trust them.
I feel that's all in your head. I feel like it's
I'm just saying how I was raised.
Okay,
like head on a swivel.
See, that's that northern mentality. Because y'all are just like New York. That's why I don't know. Like I like New York. Y'all are nice. Y'all are ambitious. I love that about y'all. But man, oh man, everybody's not out to get you. There are people that are nice.
They go that. Come on, Southern accent.
Okay.
Come on, Southern accent.
Did I do a Southern accent? Did I do the Southern accent? I did. No.
Southern hospitality is a real thing, though.
It is. When I went to New York for the first time, I couldn't believe. There was this lady. I was 10 years old. I was traumatized.
Peep how the accent came out when she starts talking about Southern hospitality. It is actually quite amazing, and it just happens so naturally. Proceed.
No, but like, I was in New York, 10 years old. It was my birthday. My first time in New York. I was so happy and all that. I thought that the world was all the same.
Oh.
2 things happened to me that changed my
see.
life. This lady, we were on the subway, and we were getting off, and we were walking in the street, and then she bumped into me. Like, everybody was, like, walking fast or whatever, because, you know, everybody got somewhere to go. I understand that. She bumped into me at 10. I was waiting on her to say, "Oh, my God, excuse me." She just kept walking. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe it. And then we were walking to this. It happened simultaneously, almost. And then we were walking. So that happened. And then we were walking to this place, Sylvia's. Shout out to Sylvia's. I hope that they've changed their ways. I think so. And I was 10 years old. I'm a Capricorn. I try to be health conscious because, you know what, sometimes I think like an old lady. Old Capricorn kids are old people at heart. I've seen it myself. But I was trying to, you know, watch my, you know, my sugar intake, and I said I'll have a tea, just trying to be sophisticated.
A tea at 10?
Tea.
I don't think I would. Okay.
Tell me why this lady brought me this hot cup of steaming. I didn't know what it was.
You wanted sweet tea.
I wanted sweet tea, and then I looked at it. I didn't order a hot chocolate. I said I wanted tea, and then she was like, "Oh, it is tea." And then I was like, "No, where's the ice? Where? What?" I was
South
so
to the
confused.
north.
And then I was like, "No, I want like iced tea." And then she takes it back, and then she brings me iced tea, and it's unsweet.
That's the worst thing ever. You take a sip of that, and you're like, "What is this?"
And I was shocked, and then I called her again, and I said, "Ma'am."
Damn, this is all before the food came out. They definitely spit in her food.
I said, "Ma'am, where's the? I want sweet tea, like sweet tea with ice in it." And she says, "Oh, we don't have sweet tea, but there's sugar on the table." The worst thing that you can tell a Southerner is when they order a tea and they say that there's sugar on the table. I don't want sugar on the table. You're supposed to mix it. It's supposed to already be.
Clearly, she is.
Oh my God! Like
by the same, like 15 plus years.
It's been at least 15 years for sure. Yeah, it's been 15. It's been 16 actually, for sure.
I wasn't trying to age her, but she did.
Oh my God! Like I couldn't believe it. That's when I knew that Northern people. That probably started my disdain. Well, it's not really a disdain. It's just like I just looked at y'all different. Like, oh my God. The world is really different. Like I was thinking I was going from Texas to Texas. Nope.
No.
You're in New York.
Completely different world.
They're rude and they don't have tea.
People say
they don't have
Northerners
sweet tea.
are rude. The difference is that back home it's just go. It's busy, like make it happen. When I moved from Connecticut to Florida, I realized that just like the pace of life is different. Mm-hmm. Like
definitely
there was like no sense of urgency. Like personally in like the world, and then like professionally, it was like they didn't have any sense of urgency. Like if you go to New York City, like you either on that sidewalk, you're getting ran over, like you're going to make it to your destination. Like don't stop in the middle of the sidewalk. And I feel like down here it's completely different. It's slower. It's more chill. Just
relax. But
I feel like there is a good mix of the two. There needs to be a sense of urgency. When I got down to Orlando, I said, y'all just don't care about anything. Mm. Texas is a little different because like Dallas is a bigger city than Orlando. But there's still like some hustle and bustle, but it's still like this sense of this is very different from back home.
Yeah. Like it's chill, but like get your work done. But as long as you do that, it's chill. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Enjoy life. It's okay to be just nice and, like just, oh, hi. Hey, do y'all say hey to your neighbors when they walk by? If you're out on y'all ain't got no porches, huh? Y'all ain't got no porch. They ain't got no porches.
The houses I lived in did not have a porch. My grandma's house got a porch, though.
Even if you didn't have a porch, we would bring a chair. Listen, I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. Shout out to Houston,
She
Texas.
says that like an hour into the interview after
Yes.
she did her whole HTX.
I did.
Like
I really did. You know what? And I don't feel bad about it. But
you guys are literally Texas Patriots, and if they could succeed, they tried already. They would.
we would. And that's what I'm afraid of. But we'll get into that. But my family is from Louisiana, like northern rural Louisiana. And they are just the countryest bumpkins I have ever like met. Like my accent is as thick as it is because of that Texas and
Are you born and raised
Louisiana.
in Houston, or did you?
Born and raised, yeah. But I frequent. I'll say this. I frequent. My parents are from Ruston, Louisiana. My dad is from Ruston, and my mom is from Monroe, Louisiana. Shout out to both of those places. Y'all rock. Hang in there. But
I'm sorry. Hang in there.
No, but their accents are thick. So then that in turn gave me an accent. But mine is more like
siblings?
No, I'm my only child. Only child. Yeah. What you got to say? Everybody got something to say about only children. We didn't do nothing to y'all.
I didn't have that.
I
came to the world with one. I already had an older sister.
You know what boggles my mind as people when I talk to people with siblings is two things. Number one, the oldest sibling having to take care of everybody. That shouldn't be. Because if you had enough sense at 3 years old when nobody else was there to take good care of yourself and have sense, why does it change when you're 6 years old and then you have your 3-year-old brother or sister in the same, realm, and then you're supposed to be responsible for them? You had the same, they instilled the same values that you had at 3, but now that they're 3, you're supposed to take it. I never got that. Never got that at all. You probably a culprit. You're the culprit. You're a culprit.
Amber 100% played mom number 2 to us plenty of times.
Crazy.
And thank you.
Thank you.
It's not my fault though.
It's not.
I didn't force her to do it.
It's not. But like I never understood that. And then what was the other one? Dang.
Uh-oh.
I lost my train of thought. But no, yeah, I never understood the oldest sibling thing. And
it's just so the parents can have a quote unquote normal life and be able to like parents date night. Well, if you don't want to pay for a babysitter, oldest sibling, you are the babysitter.
But my thing is that like if y'all do something to get in trouble and y'all have the same sense at when you were 3 versus when your younger siblings are 3. Y'all have the same value. Like y'all should be able to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like in my head the thought process is, and I guess I'm about to live it. The thought process is that like, hey, the older sibling, you are a role model for the younger sibling. So like, yeah, like they're gonna grow up and get into like their own mess and their own problems and get in trouble because like they are growing adolescents. Like it's going to happen.
You were a growing adolescent,
right? Like yeah, I mean yeah.
I had no role model. It was just me.
Well, yeah, you just got into your own trouble, and that was your own trouble. You had nobody to look up to unless you had older cousins that you potentially.
My cousins were in Louisiana. It was just me.
But like even like for me, like looking up to Amber, for example, like also Amber's like almost like 2 years older than us, so it's like it's not like a significant enough of a gap where like she is like so developmentally more than we are as like 4 versus 6. But yeah, she definitely like played that role. It's more from a need than a want, just like my upbringing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to do the same thing.
Lord Jesus.
I feel like I'm definitely going to do the same thing.
Mine's
turning 4 in 3 weeks. So he's going to be like 4 years older.
Oh.
Then
he's a sweet Pisces boy.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm definitely be like, yo, parents' date night. Like,
poor Mylan.
You got to kick it at the crib for the night. No, none of that party shit.
Oh, my God. Well, That's the way the cookie crumbles. But but another thing, the second thing, I do remember the second thing.
There you go. Right.
Y'all had to share bathrooms.
Yes.
One thing that I can't, this is my thing, and this is kind of going back to real estate. Anything could happen, but Lord Jesus, the whole house could be trash, but the bathroom cannot. The bathroom has to be the whole house can be messed up and tornado and things like that. But if I see a bathroom that is gross,
I feel like the bathroom's a telltale sign of like how you live your life.
Hello.
Telltale sign.
Hello.
You walk in your bathroom and it smells pissy, I want to go home.
Right? Like, how is the place that you get clean not clean? Yeah. I've never understood that.
But it's kind of a with kids, I feel like it's a natural evil. That like that bathroom, like you just have to clean it often. But like, like imagine like kids potty train all that stuff. Like if they make it to the bathroom, like they make it to the toilet. All right, now you got piss on the floor. Now you gotta go mop the floor. They got pissy clothes. Now you gotta go wash a load of clothes. It is an experience of testing your patience and making sure that you can do those things. Actively learning in the process. And come July, it's only going to be more active learning.
It's wrong.
I will literally get pissed and shit on.
It's wrong.
Should be a time.
Oh, brother. God help y'all. I have a couple more questions. And then, what time is it, actually?
7.
Oh, okay. All right, we're going to wrap this up. We might have to do a part 2.
I'm down.
All right.
She made me travel from South Dallas to Denton.
Okay. We can do it at your...
It wasn't a bad trip.
Listen.
I don't mind doing it here.
Yeah.
You have a dope setup.
2 more questions. Would you rather have 100K or 850 credit score?
100K. 100K.
Same.
So I'll say my hesitation was because like 850 credit score is cool and all, but like very humble humility. Like my credit score is fine right now, so I'd rather take 100K right now in my current place of life. And even if I had like a quote unquote bad credit score, I also don't like the idea of credit scores because it's very American function. But
yeah, it really is.
No one else has credit scores. It's just America. Same with tipping, but we can have that conversation later. Capitalism, they don't want to pay their employees, and they want us to essentially support their employees' wages. If you go overseas, they will literally frown upon and look at you crazy for tipping.
They will. They won't. They don't bother you. You have to ask for the ticket. They don't just, I'll just leave this right here.
Right, yeah, literally.
They don't do that.
Like, they don't rush you. Like, when you're ready for the ticket, you'll ask. And when you try to tip them, they're like, what are you talking about? Especially if you're in a place that isn't, I'll say, if English isn't like a native language or isn't like well spoken there or spoken there in enough areas. Like, first off, there's a language barrier. Secondly, it's like, what are you talking about? Why are you giving me more money?
Right.
Tipping is an American construct. And while like I will do it sometimes, it's only because I feel like you went out of your way and were a great host or provider or service person. I'll leave it at that. We can have that conversation later. Tipping is an American construct. When you go overseas, they actually frown upon it. We're literally helping these places of business pay their employees' wages.
Word.
But
time. No, we'll have you back. Isn't he great?
Yeah,
look at my African American over there. Look at him.
And she called me
bother.
African American.
Look at my African American over there. Look at him.
Black.
Isn't he great? Say what you want about Trump. He had funny one-liners. That's the one thing I won't take from him.
He did. Because
some
of his one-liners were like done before he got elected. And I'm like, how did y'all hear these and still say yes? We want her. We want him rather. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Why out the coach bus? F her right in the like. How did you hear that and say, that's my president? But I can also get it because they wanted somebody that was different, who was a businessman and wasn't Mr. PC and
Yeah.
politically correct and like all this other stuff.
He's
so
different for sure.
He used the presidency for his business aspirations and purposes, and I will stand by that.
Word.
And I'll also say, for better or for worse, pretty fucking smart operation. But, well, ethically, he just messed up.
Yeah.
Like, now he's getting sued crazy.
Word.
But had he not done unethical stuff, it probably would have been a big, like, skyrocket business-wise for him. But now he's essentially, like, not getting any benefits from it. But
Word.
Another conversation.
And the last question that I have for you. Would you rather burn alive or freeze to death?
I feel like the freeze is a longer process. Like, you gotta sit in the cold for longer than... That's like me going to Antarctica. I feel like I gotta sit there for, like, a good couple hours to like, actually, like, you know, freeze to death. I feel like the burning alive thing is, like, you might have a good 5 minutes. Burn alive. Also, the cold sucks.
Yeah.
Hence why I left the Northeast and came down south. Even though Texas has this little winters and they get like half an inch of snow and the entire state is shut down.
Listen, that's the way it should be.
It's very gives you perspective on like how different the United States is.
Word.
Because back home, they'll pre-treat the roads, they'll throw sand and salt down, they'll plow. They actually have enough plow trucks to plow the entire state. Versus, I heard some stat. I don't know if it's true or not that Dallas
the state is
has
2 steps long.
Plow trucks. I'm sorry.
The state is 2 steps long.
Kennedy, tread lightly. 2 steps? It's crazy. 2 steps is nuts. My point is, the city of Dallas has, what, less than 10 plow trucks because they just don't have the infrastructure?
It doesn't have it. We don't need it. We're not supposed to need it. It's Texas.
Everybody said that until, what, February 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guess what? It's going to happen again. Shout out to global warming. It's going to happen again. And then we're going to be in the same situation. Like, oh, my God, Mr. Abbott, why did you not prepare?
I hope that. Oh God, he needs to go. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts on Abbott to myself.
Oh, well. As for me, I feel like I'd rather freeze. I'm anemic and all that. I'd rather freeze.
Here's a question for a surprise question. You're anemic. Do you take iron pills? The answer is no. They never do. They quite literally never do.
You know what?
Like, you know your deficiency. And it's a very, quote-unquote, easy fix. Go get iron supplements. They never do it. You chew on ice?
No.
You have any anemic habits? Chew on ice like the only one I know.
No matter how warm it is outside, it could be 100 degrees outside. I will have my heater on in my office.
You have your heater on in your office in the summertime?
Yeah.
In Texas?
Yeah.
Why don't you open your window?
I ain't got no window.
That is the worst. That's fair. It's like you're in a dungeon all day. I'm the same. Oh, I can't see it. It's like
even in my house.
Even in your house, what?
Like if it's 100 degrees outside, I still have my heater on inside.
Like your heat?
Yeah, my heat.
You have your heat on in the summertime?
Yeah.
To what?
Oh, not like my heat, but my heater.
It's a personal heater.
My heater, yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's
so
just
you have the AC on in your house with a heater on
yes.
Oh,
Cause like I'll overheat, but then I'll turn it off for like a couple of seconds, but then I'll be cold and I turn it back on. Like that.
Seems a little counterintuitive to me, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
Listen. Thank you for your expertise. This was lovely. We're gonna do a part 2 for sure. I like having you. We will see what the audience thinks.
The nicest that Kennedy has
That's a lie. I'm always nice. Always.
If you know Kennedy, then you know right from wrong, truth from false.
Okay, yeah, and they know that this is indeed true. That I'm just that great.
It is very telling how many words she's putting into this.
Okay, all right. Listen, Thank you for your lovely time. It was great. We will catch up soon. Thank you guys for listening in to this episode. Kahdeem Cohens for the audience.
Thank you to Kennedy for having me.
We ain't got no audience, but I'll put in I was about to say a laugh track, but a clap track. Let's say that. But
I got it.
Until next time, thank you for tuning in to Klub KK, aka Kennedy's Corner.
KK.
Yeah. And we will see you soon. Peace.